Okay, so I had the brilliant idea of using a drum set from Guitar Hero and interface it through my Arduino and have it come into Ableton Live to trigger off MIDI sounds. So in my drum rack here I have a snare hit that is going to note E0 and I found some instructions on Spike and Z Labs. That's the wrong one. SpikeandZLabs.com, where they make a little drum kit, and they provide you with a sketch for your Arduino to be able to run it, as long as with some software and instructions. But I found that their sketch was left a lot to be desired, and their software wasn't really working that well that they with their instructions. So I went on a little search and found some other stuff and got everything working, albeit there is a good bit of latency, not enough to be able to use, but kind of a cool little project to be able to play around with. So if you go to SpikeandZLabs.com and download their drum kit sketch, and in fact at some point I may provide my modified sketch along with the class that I found from another developer. So to get everything to work in Ableton, you've got to download and install this Loop B internal MIDI port, and it just runs in the background. So then when you go into Preferences, and if my phone will focus, there we go, and you go into Preferences in Ableton Live, you can see under MIDI ports, we've got the input Loop B internal MIDI, and I've got the track turned on. And so we have some settings underneath there, which I didn't mess with any of that stuff. I just left it at default. And then this other piece of software, which is way better than the software that they showed on the Spike and Z Lab. Both the Loop B and this piece are way better. So this thing takes the serial input from the Arduino and maps it to the MIDI input, converts it to MIDI first of all, and then maps it to the MIDI input and output of the Loop B internal MIDI port. And then on the, let's see if I've got it up here, got it up someplace. Yeah, so in the, let me show you something else there first. With the hairless MIDI to serial port application, they have a class in here, the ArduMidi C++ class, and the header. And inside of that, they start off with some notes that don't map correctly to the same notes in Ableton Live for some reason. So I went through and mapped every possible note. As you can see, there's like 100 and I don't remember how many. It's a lot. It's good fun. You should try it sometime. So then I just import that class into my sketch and am able to use this along with some of Spike. It's kind of a hybrid between the Spike and Z Labs sketch and their class and their example sketches. So let's get a couple things up here. So this is kind of cool because you can see what's coming in as things happen. So we'll show that here in a minute. So there's my Arduino, and then once the phone focuses in here, we've got a pull-down resistor of 1 megohm and a Zener diode, a 5-volt Zener diode to clamp the voltage to 5 volts just in case the input from my trigger is greater than 5 volts. I don't want to damage the Arduino because the maximum analog input, which I've got going into A01, which I don't think the phone's going to want to focus for me. Gotta love it. And I have a pad from a Guitar Hero drum kit that I took out for just testing right now. And if I don't drop the phone, here's it working. As you can hear, some latency. Excuse me. And now you're probably not going to be able to see the screen anymore because my phone's going to white out on me. That's awesome. But on the hairless MIDI to serial bridge, you can see the debug messages. It'll show you the MIDI channel, the note, and the velocity, and whether you're turning the note on and off. And right now I have the velocity set at a constant of just full on, so no matter how hard I hit it, it all comes through the same. So if I get around to it, I'll throw the libraries up there, the modified libraries and the modified Arduino sketch, so you guys can play with it too. Have fun.